everyone, this is Greyshot once I'm bringing another review, this time of Halloween. Probably should have called it something else because, it's a sequel to Halloween. So how about instead of that, we called it Halloween Returns, Halloween Resurrection, Halloween H2O. No, those all taken? Okay, all taken by okay to bad movies? Yeah. So this movie stars 40 years after the original, with quite a few of the, original cast returning. Sure, you have the guy who played Michael Myers returning, though he is mainly comprised of another actor. And that's just simply because of the fact that that actor is getting older. So they got a new person to play The Shape, which was James Jude Courtney. Hopefully I'm getting that name correctly. But Michael Myers does return. He's been locked up for 40 years, and he's going against Jamie Lee Curtis's character of Laurie Strode, who's playing like a very survivalist type character. And I know that this could be played up and be very hokey, but she does a fantastic job in this, and so does Michael. It's actually kind of interesting how both, you would think it would get old at this point with this same routine and this formula, because this movie is basically a Halloween movie. It doesn't detract or change that formula or main concept, but it does it so well that I feel like a lot of people are saying, oh, it looks too good. I'm like, no, this looks great. I wish more horror films look like this. It's really well shot. The soundtrack is fantastic. The acting for pretty much all parts is great. Even the secondary characters, the limited amount of dialogue you get are just normal human stories. Yes, a lot of it is comedic based, but if I'm talking to one of my friends, I'm going to be talking comedic based, even if I'm about to die, or like death is around the corner, but I'm unbeknownst to it. But I really enjoyed it. You also have Judy Greer as the mom, and of course Andy Matic as Allison, the granddaughter. And I like all three of their dynamics with Jamie Lee Curtis's Laurie Strode, like grandmother type character, because you can see the dynamic of a mother who doesn't want to deal with the grandmother anymore, the grandmother who's trying to protect the family, and the granddaughter who's just trying to reconnect the family. So it's a really interesting dynamic. I do wish they put a little bit more time and effort into it, but by far, that is one of the major sticking points of this film. And Jamie Lee Curtis just knocks it out of the park. She does not hand this up. She gives it everything she has. And you can tell, even in the final climactic battle, it is one heck of a battle. And I truly enjoyed it. And again, she gives it her all. It's a great performance. It's a great role. And she just nails it through and through. And Michael comes back, and you would figure that we've seen him so many movies he wouldn't be terrifying, but no, they make him scary, they make him terrifying, and even in some cases comedic, but not because of him. It's based on other characters reacting to him, and I enjoyed that aspect, and I enjoyed people trying to figure him out. There's enough sense of mystery behind Michael that you don't get all the answers. You get maybe one or two here and there, but majority of him is still shrouded in mystery, and that makes him even more terrifying in my mind. Again, he seems like an idiot, but he plays traps. He seems like he seems old and frail, but he's strong enough to crush a man's skull. He's incredibly strong, incredibly quick, even though he's slow moving. But again, he's just unrelenting, and I like that about him. I liked it about this movie because they played it up, and I like how they did play on some of the tropes. They definitely lean into others, but they definitely play on some horror tropes, which definitely helps separate this from a lot of the other movies. It keeps the pace going. The pace, I know the first half may be a little bit slow, but overall it has a really great second half. And when Michael's released, again, the tension is built up that you enjoy it. And I also liked how they didn't stay on the violence. The violence is very just it's like sugarcoating. It's not the main focus for the most part. There are scenes that there is a lot of gore, but that being said, it's not all scenes. And it just slowly and steadily ramps it up. Sure, there are scenes with decapitations. There are scenes with pretty much body parts everywhere. But that being said, it's not the focus. And the main focus is on the characters. And I like that aspect. Sure, yes, of course, there is gore. But like I said, if this movie is supposed to be a slasher, there has to be some gore, especially in 2018 standards. So I enjoyed that aspect. But in any case, I do have some negatives. Again, I feel it's maybe a little too slow, and that is actually not in the beginning. It's actually a little bit more so toward like the middle, where there's some plot conveniences and tropes that are just like, oh, come on. But overall, I truly enjoyed this film. I thought it could be a little bit longer. I think some of the characters could be fleshed out a little bit more. But that being said, I love the cinematography. I love the soundtrack. I like a lot of the characters in this, even the secondary characters. I think Michael's terrifying. I think it's a horror movie. It's a great horror movie with great blood and guts, great kills, maybe more standard on kills with one or two really sticking out in my mind, but still a good horror film. And also it has, again, a good villain that keeps tension going, keeps you terrified. So overall, for a horror movie on Halloween, it's a damn good one, and I would say one that you should really check out. And if I had to give a final rating on it, I would probably have to give it an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed this film. I'm not a huge horror fan in the sense of human killers. I prefer like monsters and like those creatures, stuff like that. That's my forte into like sci-fi monster movies, stuff like that. And yes, there's horror elements that can be definitely in those films, but slashers aren't my forte. But I really enjoyed this film, so just want to give you a mindset. Maybe that's why I rank this one higher, is because I just really don't care about the rest, and this one is like, okay, this one was actually made by a competent director, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Again, I thought it had a good pace, and I thought it had really good comedic timing that helped break up some of the tension before ramping and putting you right back into it. And again, the finale is great with some definitely aha moments if you really like any moment in Halloween. There's Easter eggs to Halloween 3, Halloween 2, H2O. They have moments throughout the entirety of the series. And yes, there's a WTF moment, which I'll get to in spoilers, that does bring it down. But overall, I do recommend it. So spoilers, the WTF moment I'm referring to that's kind of weird is the doctor character. They have a new Dr. Loomis type character. And yeah, his name is Dr. Ranbar Sartine. Wait, Sartine? Yeah, Sartane. And he's just kind of, he turns into a little bit crazy toward the end, and then he's just like killed off. And I'm like, really? Really? Okay. All right, fine. I mean, okay. I wish they would have had a little bit more explanation to it. You kind of get a little bit of it, and there's enough Easter eggs you can kind of make sense of it. I wish there was more. There are characters that are just left out, like the boyfriend character and whatnot. I wish they were in it a little bit more. But that being said, I think there's probably going to be a sequel. I mean, the movie killed at the box office, so there's probably going to be a sequel. But no, overall, I think this is a great horror film. And Michael's kills, my personal favorite, was one of my friends going, what the? At a moment where you literally see a police officer's head with a flashlight jammed into it, like a Halloween, like a Halloween pumpkin's head. So I'm like, okay, nice job. Don't know how he had time to do that, but looks really nice. You know, for being a disgusting head on a literal flashlight. And then the other thing that I wanted to bring up was the other moment, which was also some of the kills. One of my favorite was unfortunately, one of the side characters being, well, it's funny because the side character, you get a lot of comedic base, and you see him grab a knife, and you're like, oh, there's going to be a cool fight. And no, you literally next find him, and he's literally on the wall, impaled, hanging. It's like, ooh, that's not good. And also, my last shot of the movie that I'll really go into is a long shot of Michael just going around killing people left and right. And I thoroughly enjoyed it because, again, it's a long shot. It's a really well done. Has a lot of Halloween Easter eggs within that shot. But once again, it doesn't focus necessarily on the violence. It just pads it out and just focuses on a lot of the better moments of it, which I really did enjoy. It's just, again, a shot into Michael's life, him going inside and out of buildings, which I like how they're like, yeah, he only killed like 3 or 4 people back in the original movie. So like, I guess in the original, like 1978 or whatever. So it's like, he's not really that big of a threat. And in this movie, he kills like 24 people or some ridiculous number. So it's like, yeah, they brought Michael up to the modern times. But in any case, that's my Halloween review. Hopefully you enjoyed. But it's been Greyshot17, and I'll see you all next time. Hello everyone, and before I go, I want to give a special shout out to Patreon supporters Ace, Joey, Junior Chickless, Matthew Leppen, Ollie, Onlyplayapples, Sam Smith, sgtMcPain, Streakingwookie, WhiteHotD, Aaron Yee, Jordan Shavit, Leo Lou, Mikael, Persons, Nathan, Angus, Ari Spawn, and Tim. Thank you guys so much for your awesome support. You guys rock. This has been Greyshot17. I'll see you all next time.